Today's video, we are going to be working on the SRT-10 Ram with the Viper V10 in it. Yes, we are finally going to be doing some stuff with that Ram SRT-10. Let's get started. All right, welcome back, you guys. So if you don't already know, I've been saying it enough, but I'll say it again. We are moving. So this is one of the last days I think that we're actually gonna have the lift here for our own use. It's sold. I believe it's coming to get picked up this weekend. I'm recording this on a Friday and it's supposed to be picked up, I think by Sunday, so it'll be no more. So I wanna take it to our full advantage. As you guys know, we already built the hellcat. And this is pretty much ready to go. I already did an oil change on that. There's some stuff that I kind of wanted to do to that. We did get some headers and stuff, but I think I'm just gonna run out of time before the move. So, but I do wanna get some maintenance done on this. So last we drove it all the way from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, all the way here. And I changed all the fluids. If you guys haven't seen that whole video series, it's pretty good little series. So I'll link that above. You guys should definitely check it out. We got these two new lines and we got the old junk ones off. So as you can see, I changed the oil or dropped the oil last night. I actually dropped it from all three. So there's the engine oil, there's the old transmission oil, and way there in the back on that pan is a diff fluid. So this truck was sitting for years. I was over at my mom's house and I did all the maintenance, did it outside, laying in a driveway, getting all the maintenance done before we actually drove it all the way here with no issues. So I did all that, but that was the last time I did service on it. So I want to get some fresh fluids in it, namely engine, oil change. I'm changing it early, but I don't know, I just kind of like doing that stuff and keeping up to maintenance. And I'm also going to change the transmission fluid on it as well, because the truck doesn't have hardly any miles on it. It's only got like 29,000 miles on it. But that was the first time the transmission fluid had been changed, and it was a little bit, I don't know, I just want to make sure it's, you know, super clean stuff going back into it. So what I'm going to do, we're gonna move it out. And if you guys don't know, it does have an electric cutout on it. So I'll show you guys that, give you guys a cold start, show you guys the electric cutout operation so you guys are up to speed on that. We'll move it out, bring it back over here, and then we'll get some fluid changes on it, maybe give this thing a bath. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, I haven't started in a while. You guys probably heard it. Took a little bit to, I didn't know if it was gonna start, but it cranked over. One thing, you guys probably can hear like the chirping birds under there. This thing still has the original belt on it. So the original accessory belts. I actually do have a new belt on it, so we'll put that on because this one is, whatever that is, 2005. It's like over 16 years old at this point. So that's why it sounds like that until it warms up and then it goes away. But I got a new one so that we don't have to listen to the birds chirping. But here she is out in the light, you guys. This thing sounds filthy. So we'll do some service on it. Maybe we'll take for a little rip. We're gonna be doing a lot more stuff. I wanna get that draggy video for you guys, but I don't know how well the exhaust is picking up, but watch. So I'll show you guys the cutout in a second. You can hit the button. Inside, if you guys haven't heard it, and if we hit this button, we got open and close. If we hit close, I don't know if you guys can hear it through the camera, but if we hit close, she goes back to bone stock sound. So she just gets super quiet. So again, I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but watch. If I rev it, that's stock. We open it up. You get a lot of pops too. All right, I ended up moving the toolbox over here just because this thing's a lot longer than most of the stuff we end up throwing in here. So, shuffled the Viper outside. So I've been watching a lot of successful people, and they really suggest moving your workspace around just to kind of keep things fresh and keeps things interesting. That toolbox has been there for the last year or two, and just moving it over here makes this space feel so much different and fresh. So I would highly suggest that. If you guys are, you know, into a routine, I would switch things up. I know I can't really leave this here, well, typically because I have to have a car parked here, but it's just nice to kind of move things around. But let's pull this thing in here finally. Just like that, truck is up. I can't go up too high, you guys. Like the lower profile vehicles, like on the Viper, if I put it up, I can, you know, pretty much walk under it. But the taller the vehicle you get, and with this ceiling profile, I can't go up all the way. So it's enough that I don't have to jack it up, but I still have to kind of slide under there. So I'm gonna go under there. You're not missing much. It's gonna take the drain bolt out and drain the oil. And we got a factory magnetic drain plug. The old oil's all done. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this back in, tighten it down, move on to the oil filter. So the oil filter is fairly easy to get to on these, but we got a long ways to go to our oil pan, so it should be fun. Look at that. This is so much fun that we cracked our lens. Good thing we have these though. And oil filter's off, and I only use the OEM Mopar ones, so this is actually specific to the Viper. If you guys look, I'll show you. It actually even says Viper right on it. So it's extremely specific for these engines. Probably run something else. I'm not gonna criticize you if you do, but I'm sticking to the tried, true, and tested stuff for this engine. So I'm gonna put this back on, and then we should be done the oil change part of it once we fill it up. Voila, brand new oil filter is on. Okay, if you guys ever plan on doing or owning one of these trucks, just know she drinks a lot of oil. She's thirsty. So we got 2 of these jugs. I run the 15W50. You guys can run whatever you want. Here in the south, it doesn't really get that cold, so you don't have to really worry so much about having the super lightweight oil at startup. And this is just a better oil. It actually has a lot more zinc in it than just your regular 0W40. So I choose this stuff and run this in both my Vipers, and we'll go ahead and dump this in. So I'm just gonna do it right here. Got a little step stool since we left it up on the hoist, and there's our oil fill. So we'll pour in some oil. Okay, so we're all filled up on oil. Now I can work on, like I said, kind of and pretty much unnecessary, but I'm just gonna dump the transmission fluid again because it doesn't take that much. It's pretty cheap stuff, and I just kind of want to make sure everything is tip top on this thing. Here we go with the transmission. So this is the fill, and this is the drain. So you just put your 3/8 ratchet in there and loosen the plug. So I'm gonna go ahead and drain this, and then we'll fill it back up. Oh, there we go. Like I said, I just changed it not too long ago. It's just ATF fluid. So it still looks pretty good, but I just wanted to get it perfect. So I'll let this drain, and then we'll fill back up. All right, so I just reinstalled our drain plug, put a little bit of Permatex thread sealant on it as well. We're gonna take this out, and then we're gonna use a little pump, a fluid transfer pump, and we'll pump in until it leaks out of here, and then we're full again. So here we go. And if you guys don't know, T56s, you are supposed to run just straight ATF. Disregard this on here. There's a lot of different transmission builders. The one that I actually had rebuild the transmission for the Viper, Tick Performance, they strictly endorsed only running ATF in my brand new rebuilt transmission. So I'm doing the same on this one. ATF is the best stuff for this. So we're gonna go ahead, I'll link it down in the description below if you guys want this stuff, and as well as the fluid transfer pump. I'm just gonna pump it in here until it starts leaking out. Okay, so we've got our trickle happening out of here, which means we're full. So I'm gonna grab our fill bolt, and we'll plug this thing up. Okay, so our bolt's in, and in case you guys are wondering, there is our dual electric cutout setup. This was one of my first welding projects, so don't judge the welds themselves, but that's the operation. It's got 2 dumps right there, and that's how she works. So I figure we've came this far, we might as well go ahead, drain our fluid in the axle, then we'll refill it right here. So here's our drain, fill, let's remove it. So still pretty clean, you guys. Like I said, I just wanted to really get this stuff perfect since it was pretty dirty the last time I did it. So trying to get these things all nice and crystal clear for us so that I don't have to worry about them for a while. Off to Walmart we go for oil. If you guys don't know, Walmart is the cheapest place to go and get your oil. Don't go to AutoZone, don't go to Pep Boys, don't go to O'Reilly's. Walmart is the cheapest place. So we're gonna go get some oil for the diff and we'll be back. Here we go, guys. So we got our gear oil and I also have these limited slips. So a lot of controversy, if I can hold one up, a lot of controversy on whether to add one or two, but I'm gonna add two and we'll go ahead, get the fluid in there and we'll fill it up. So it takes about, you're gonna need about 3 of these. So get yourself at least 2. And if you have part of a bag, that'll top you up. Okay, so we got our diff fluid changed, so all the fluids are now changed on this thing. All right, well, I feel a little bit better about that. Even though all the fluids weren't that dirty, I just like to get everything fresh and clean in there. Like I said, this thing was sitting for a while, and I changed all the fluids, and I didn't really drive it that much, but drove it across country and then just parked it and haven't really driven it much since, but I just want to get all new fluids in there since the ones prior to that were, you know, in there for a while, so I almost felt like the ones that were in there that we just drained were kind of like a clean through. I don't know, just in my head, that's kind of the way I felt about it. So only thing left to do now is I did get that other accessory belt. So got a new accessory belt. We'll throw that on and then we can take this thing for a rip. All right, working on changing the accessory belt. So it is pretty interesting down in there. Let me get my light so I can show you guys. So it's actually, it's a 15 mil, but they're reverse threads. I don't know if you guys can see through there. You can probably barely see. I got the wrench on there. Hopefully you can see. So I got the wrench on it, and that is where the tensioner is, buried right there. You can probably see it just in front of my wrench. It's reverse threads, and you can't even get a socket in on it. So I had to put a wrench and then kind of do the whole extend a wrench right there, where you kind of link the two to get enough leverage on it. So not much to see, but I'm able to get that in there to release the tension so I can get this belt off. So I'm gonna double check the routing, take this thing out of here. I'll tell you, the front of this truck is not fun to work over, that's for sure. All right, it's out of there. So there you have it, folks. That is pretty much a 20-year-old belt. Doesn't look like it has much elasticity to it. It kind of just froze in the last position I turned it off, which really was only several hours ago. It's always a good idea to double check your new belt, make sure it's the same length, and it is. So we'll get this nice, fresh belt in here that should have a lot more elasticity to it and not make those crazy noises on startup. Okay, we got the belt in there. That is not fun. And this right here on the side of the fan is like a blade. It literally split me right open like nothing. So if you're sticking your hands in there, just watch out. That's like my hand except without the fan. But new one's on here, so let's start her up. I don't know if you guys just heard that, but usually the idle air control valve makes those crazy screaming noises out of the intake. But yeah, no more squeaky squeak chirp chirp, which is good. So glad I finally got that old ass belt off there. So take it for a little rip. All right, guys, so we're driving. I don't know if you guys can hear like the popping sounds this thing makes. With the windows closed so you guys can maybe hear it a bit better. I don't know if it's better with or without. I'll review the footage later, but so she's got a lot of pops and bangs. What are the odds of seeing another one? What's up, man? I'm laughing. I was doing some filming. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's another one. I'm like, what are the odds you see another one?
Are you on YouTube?
Yeah. Boosted Motorsports.
Oh, so you're legit.
Yeah, so we do a bunch of stuff, but I got this one on lowering kit and on 24s and stuff. Nothing crazy, but I'm trying not to modify them too much.
Oh yeah, I want to keep this one stock.
Yeah, I hear you. Like, I still have my original wheels and all the original stuff.
The only thing I lost, well, when I bought it from a dealer, I had 26,000 miles.
Oh, shit.
But the screws that hold the spoiler,
Yeah.
they weren't the original.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you lost, like the spoiler flew off?
No, I took it to, I was in Illinois.
Oh. Oh, jeez. All right, man. Take care. All right, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video, guys. What are the odds that you would see another one out and about? It's pretty funny, but anyways, if you guys enjoy this style of content, let me know what else you guys want to see on this truck. We're gonna be doing the draggy stuff pretty soon as well on this, and I'll try to get some more stuff going with this. I have a few other mods that I want to do. Not sure when we'll get to them just yet, but I do have some stuff planned. We've got those Gibson shorties, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, if you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. We'll see you guys on the next video.